Hey homie, how you doing? It's Lazarus back again with another video here on the Resurrect, and today's topic is that life is a trading game. If you read the title, then you know that that's what this is about, but you probably don't know what I'm actually saying, so let's get right into it. So I want you to think about like Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering. I've personally never played those. I thought that was way too much work as a kid and still do. But I have many friends who like playing those games, so maybe this would help them or someone like you. So you're born with a specific hand at the time of birth, and you go about your life with this hand. And throughout different points of your life, you make certain decisions to trade different cards for different things. Each card is a specific thing or aspect in your life. Let's say you have a card for health, you have a card for wealth, you have a card for mental space, you have a card for emotional space, for your friendships, for what you're pursuing, all this stuff. Like every little chunk of life that makes up your life, you have a card for it. The key thing about this is that you can't hold every card. You have to trade one card for another, or else the game can't be played. It's kind of like that saying that I really fucking hate, but makes so much sense when you realize where it's coming from. The saying that is, you can't have your cake and eat it too. The reason I hate it is because the point of a cake is to eat it, so why the fuck can you not have your cake and eat it too? I think we need a new one. I haven't come up with a better one yet, but we'll see. Basically, what it's trying to say is that you can have anything you want in life, but you can't have everything at once. That's the same idea with this analogy of the card game. You can have anything you want in your life. You can have the hand that you truly do desire. However, you can't have everything all at once. And from what I've learned from watching my mentors from afar, whether it be people like Alex Hormozi or Ali Abdaal, or even like artists like Russ or Drake, all of these different people are innovators in their own right, and they started off with their own separate kinds of hands, very similar with like maybe where they first started off in struggles, but they kept making the same kinds of trades. They would trade their time, their energy, their focus, their effort, even the people that they're around to garner a specific card to get a specific result for their life. For Drake, the specific example was trading in the known industry of acting and entertainment that he was already in exchange for music, something that he didn't have a previous background in and wasn't already established in. For Alex Hormozi, he traded the comfortable, I think, financial job that he was in and the condo that he had for starting from scratch and starting a business and sleeping on a floor. These are different kinds of trades that people make in their life to garner a specific result. And every hand serves a purpose for a specific period of time. And I believe that our hands, you and I, are quite similar probably if you're watching a video like this. So I can probably guess what that hand looks like. Not a lot of money, not a lot of motion with the ladies, working a regular job, probably still living at home, and training a lot of your time and effort for things that you believe in, such as like your health, going to the gym, or building some kind of business online yourself. But this perspective is not only to understand how life functions in a sort of way, but also to appreciate life a little bit more. Because when you have hand one, this is the one you have currently, the one you're trying to trade for, and you're trying to get hand two. Hand two has the home you want, the money you want, the relationship you want, the friends you want, all that, right? So you're trying to trade one for two. But once you finally have two, you're gonna realize that you don't have what you used to have in hand one. You had less responsibilities in hand one. You had maybe more friends in hand one. Maybe you were less stressed in hand one than you are in hand two, because now you have more responsibilities, like more money, more problems, as they say. What this analogy serves to do is to keep in mind that life is always going to have problems. Life is always going to have pros and cons and everything. There's going to be good moments and bad moments. They're just going to look differently and feel different each time. I'll use myself as an example where a couple years ago, I was wasting my life away on VR chat, getting like drunk and high as shit, but my social life was peak. It was like I knew so many people, I had so many different conversations, I felt like I was truly part of a group. But then I traded that to be alone for quite a long time, and what that gave me was time to build that relationship back up with myself and focus more on my own life. And even though that trade really did hurt to make because I really did care about those people, it was time to make that trade because I was looking for a different kind of hand. Even now, I look at the hand I have where I work a pretty good job. I have a great work environment. Everyone likes me. I like everyone. The job is relatively simple itself. It keeps me sharp. I still live at home and I don't have to worry about too much thanks to my amazing parents. All I gotta do is just make sure like I pay for the house and whatnot. And even though I know I want my own place and live by myself and have the solitude, I know that once I make that trade and I finally have that second hand I want, I'm gonna think, oh wow, I miss like having people around me in my living space. I miss chatting with my mom about something, or helping my dad with some technical issue, or laughing with them about some stupid bullshit I did or my mom did or my dad did. So the second part of this metaphor is to maximize the pleasure for what you currently have. I read this, funny enough, in a Sunday Snippets from Ali Abdul, one of his newsletters, where he met someone who was always just happy, and one of her secrets was that she said, I think it was no pleasure left behind. Her name is Jane, by the way. I don't know her full name, but shout out Jane. And the principle is pretty simple. It's no pleasure left behind. Like, you constantly ask yourself, how can I maximize the most amount of pleasure out of this one particular moment? And I didn't realize that I was kind of already doing that for my own life, because I was searching for how to enjoy where I'm at while not hating myself. And I was like, oh wait, I can just do more of that. So today, for example, I put on some good music while I was driving. I sang some of my favorite songs, like enjoyed the hell out of the coffee I got on the way to gym. I like really focused in on the workout, felt like each part of my body moving. I was doing legs today, this action wasn't that bad. I was actually a lot stronger than I thought I was, so cool. In conclusion, you were born with a hand that you trade throughout your life for different things, and each card represents a different aspect of your life. You're trying to trade the hand you have now for a hand you want more, but you also have to remember that once you have that new hand, you likely can't go back to the old hand because things have changed. That's why it's important to appreciate the hand you have now, because it doesn't last forever. Even though I know it feels like it, and our human minds will try to make it feel like this is forever and like life will always be this way, but it won't. Are you still like, I mean, I don't know what your situation is, I don't know how older you are, but like, are you still living life how it was 5 years ago? Is everything still the same? If you've been graduated from high school, like, are you still living how you used to live in high school, with dealing with the same problems? Are you still living with the same problems you had in college? Probably not. And that's why life is a trading game. And you have to keep that in mind whenever you're making a decision, big or small, because every decision is a trade that you're making. And with that being said, I hope you have a lovely rest of your night, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This has been Lazarus from the Resurrect, and I'll catch you soon. Goodbye. Where is my mouse?